Hey guys! So I recently managed to watch the documentary The Red Pill. I've been wanting to see this documentary ever since it came out. Now I'm going to give a review of it to the best of my abilities. If you just want to know my opinion, short and sweet, take the time to go see this documentary. If you're someone who doesn't know about the men's rights movement, or somebody who only knew of the reputation of the men's rights movement being that of a sexist, misogynistic group, or somebody who just wants to know more about the issues that men and boys face, then go see this documentary. Now, on with this possibly poorly done review. First off, it has to be said that this documentary is one to go down in the history books as being the first documentary to bring the subject of men and boys and the issues that they face, as well as the activists that try to bring those issues to the forefront to the big screen. Cassie Jaye, the director of The Red Pill, is no stranger to making documentaries, having 3 under her belt already. Daddy I Do is a documentary looking into purity balls, as it symbolises a way for a father to protect his daughter's virginity, but questioning how this may affect the young girls. Faces Overlooked exposes the epidemic of hunger affecting one of the most unlikely places in the USA. Marin County in the Bay Area is the wealthiest community in California. However, over 28,000 residents live with food insecurity. The people who provide services to the affluent often fall short in meeting their own needs. A Right to Love, an American Family is a documentary looking into the subject of marriage equality in the LGBT community while following the life of a gay couple and their children as they face the daily trials. The men's rights movement kind of fell into Cassie's lap as a subject for her next documentary as she was researching the topic of rape culture after 2 stories broke out. One was of the terrifying rape that happened in Steubenville, Ohio in the USA. The other was of a horrific gang rape in India. As she was looking through the internet, she came across the website A Voice for Men, and thus her journey down the rabbit hole began. The Red Pill looks into male suicide, male domestic violence and the lack of shelters that there are for men, and it also looks at the circus such as the family courts and how fathers' rights are often handled. It touches upon a few other issues as well, of which I would have liked Cassie to dive deeper into, but due to time constraints it had to be cut short. The documentary really dives deep into the issues that men and boys face, but it isn't biased. It presents both sides of the debate fairly, allowing both feminists and MRAs to have their say. Cass interviews prominent MRAs such as Paul Elam, the creator of the website A Voice for Men, and Warren Farrell, the author of the book The Myth of Male Power. The Red Pill also shows moments of when the MRAs tried to organise a march or give a speech, only for it to get overrun with protesters. For instance, the event where Warren Farrell was meant to give a talk about a male suicide was overrun by the feminist organisation, calling people who attended rape apologists and scum. It really shows that the reputation of the men's rights movement as a sexist, woman-hating group overpowers what the movement is trying to achieve. The style of the documentary is a fly-on-the-wall type of style, with Cassie as a sort of protagonist. We, the audience, are following Cassie on this journey, learning with her and seeing her struggles with each step that she takes. The video diaries showing Cassie's progression are a real insight into how she is feeling and how she is digesting the information that she gathers. This, I think, is a welcome addition to the documentary. Seeing Cassie's reaction certainly made the documentary feel more real. The fly-on-the-wall type of style is also welcome in my opinion. Many people have pointed out that Cassie didn't challenge both feminist and MRA interviewees to press them for clarification on their points. While this would have created for entertaining fireworks, this wouldn't have worked in my opinion. Allowing the interviewees to have their say allows the audience to decide for themselves. This shows great respect for the audience and their intelligence, and while at the end of the documentary Cassie's decision is clear, she's not forcing it upon others. I also like the underlying theme of the documentary, the Alice in Wonderland theme, or simply going down the rabbit hole. This theme really did tie in with Cassie's journey, going from a world that she knew to another world that was topsy-turvy, a wonderland. It was nice, a little creative theme that I think worked well. One thing that really got to me personally, and many others, was seeing the contrast between the members of the feminist movement and those of the men's rights movement. In many interviews with the feminists, we see them in large buildings and universities, while in the interviews with the MRAs, we see them in their houses, their homes, or in a noisy bar like in the interview with Karen Strong from the Honey Badgers. It was honestly quite revealing how the feminist movement has grown into an almost cold, dominating presence, while the men's rights movement is still small and humble, still trying to get its feet off the ground. The part that really made me grind my teeth was an interview with Michael Mesner on the topic of fathers' rights. When Cassie asked him about what his thoughts were, he acknowledged that fathers get a bad deal within the family courts, but he turned it around to say that in the heterosexual family, the woman is still doing most of the housework and child rearing, while the man is absent for most of the time. So when it comes to the divorce, the man still feels horrible for not spending as much time with the children, and that's why he wants custody. While I was angered that he turned it around so that women were affected more, what enraged me was that he didn't acknowledge why men were absent for most of the time, not quite understanding that maybe the man was working 60 plus hours a week so that he can provide food and shelter for his wife and children.
Well, I'll just say I don't think it's I don't think that a lot of their assumptions are correct to start with. There's no doubt that there have been some men who get just screwed by court decisions and custody cases. But I think when you look at the broader patterns, it's still the case that in intact heterosexual families with kids, women are still doing the vast majority of the housework and childcare, and there's a lot of sort of father absence, lack of participation by fathers, some of whom I think then after divorce happens end up suddenly wanting equality, as fathers when they haven't really been participating equally as fathers before.
This documentary will make you cry. It will make you angry. It will also leave you with wanting more. Maybe this was Cassie's way of getting the audience to research the men's rights movement for themselves, but I was left feeling wanting. I honestly didn't want the documentary to stop. As I said in the beginning, I do recommend The Red Pill. This documentary needs to be seen. I will leave links in the description below so that you can see the documentary for yourself. And that wraps up this review, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye!